Yo, what is up everyone, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video with your host Kenkukun, and here we are. I said if there was an update, I would update you guys to the redstone. So in this video, we're going to talk about the redstone option we have that's now going to be available soon, and then we're going to talk about the Daima Vegeta, the very next banner that's coming out. They say it's part of the EX banner, but I mean, we always get a banner around this time for a long time. So it's going to be Super Saiyan 3 Daima Vegeta Mini. All right, so first and foremost, is this Vegeta worth a redstone? I think if you're looking for a successor unit, he's the only other option besides Beerus. He has 0 restrictions in his passive. Where's his passive? Where do I have his stuff pulled up at? Right here. Give me this. Close that. And we'll pull up his passive right here. His new passive, he's gonna have 200% and we only care about the defense right now. So 200% the defense on 150% the defense, right? So before attacking, he has a lot of defense, and then when he attacks, he's gonna get another 100% defense. He has 80% damage reduction before attacking, right? So he doesn't support or anything like that, which is I'm a little sad about that. Again, if you're looking for a successors category unit for your units, he's worth grabbing. He has no restrictions. It's just 80% damage reduction forever. He is on Pure Saiyans, one of the new categories, or one of the leaders from the 10th anniversary. He's on Successors. He's going to be on Gifted Warriors, which is what Daima Vegeta is going to lead. And I would say Daima Vegeta's not hurting for units. There are lots of units, but this guy is worth considering. He's going to be, I think he's going to age very, very well. If you're using items and you're not going to fall into the trap like some of us do. No item this, want to no item that, and the game's going to be less fun because of it. He is an amazing unit. In fact, he's been good forever because of items. You could have ran him 3 days ago and he would tank everything in the game with items, dude. Like, that's how good this guy is. Right, depending on how long the fight was. So, um he's worth considering. Even at 55%, he's worth considering a redstone dragonstone. So yes, especially if you're looking to build more successor units. You just want successors. He's worth it. He's not going to fit on anyone else's team, right? Outside of the Pure Saiyans and then the Gifted Warriors. He's on crossover worthy rivals, Vegeta's Family Super Saiyan. What does Glorio lead? All right, we'll never see Glorio and him on the same team, unless another category shows up or another leader is going to come out, which would lead eventually we're going to see them on the same team. So yeah, Glorio's going to be buffing him big time. So yeah, I think this is a very good unit. As far as how, like, who's more valuable, I still think like Int Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is probably still like the #1 pick from this list. But again, it depends on what you need to build and who you need to get. So now let's talk about the should you summon. Now this always comes down to what you want to do with your box. And how you want to play the game, right? So if we take a look at the Dokkan info, we have this top row is what's coming out, right? So Daima Vegeta, which was announced to release on the 3rd. It's the 3rd. I'm waiting for it. It's the 3rd. Where is he at? Then we have Super Saiyan Vegeta, right? Which, again, you can pick him up with the redstone, and I think he's probably he might be the best Super EZA unit. Beerus might still beat him because Beerus has guard and 60% damage reduction and can get close to 1,000,000 defense. So Beerus still might beat him. That 20% damage reduction difference and then the lack of guard is really, really, really what I'm looking at here, right? For even not in slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, this guy's going to be great. And then these guys are EZAing. So here's the Vegeta. He leads Transformation Boost. Now, this is just the, Google translation because they don't have the English webpage of this up yet. And then Gifted Warriors, right? So what is this Daima Vegeta doing? So he's raising his attack and defense. Usually when I talk about characters and how good they are, I'm looking at defense before anything else. If they can't take a hit, they're not worth it, right? So I'm going to look at it from a no item perspective, but I promise you right now, this guy is phenomenal with items. Period. And he's going to be amazing with items for the rest of Dokkan. I can almost just see it forever. But should you spend your stones right now? I would recommend, if you're new, get what you can out of the anniversary banners. if you have over 50% of all the featured banner units, start saving your stones for the worldwide, and then dump on the worldwide. And then after that, do what you want. Summon on banners you want to summon on, pick up units with coins that you want to pick up. This guy will be back right before or right after the worldwide download celebration. It's one or the other. It's right before or right after, right? So he's returning in like 6 months. And I don't think he's a must-have unit. Like, we have so many good units from the anniversary. He's not needed today, right? I don't even know that I'm gonna get him, and I want the Daima stuff. But Saiyan Day is 2 weeks away. I want to see what's there before I even consider summoning for this guy, I think. So he raises defense by 33% for 3 turns. Pretty good. He has 90% damage reduction his first turn, and then after that, he's going to have 50% damage reduction forever. Another 20, so 70% in slot 1. So this is what people are looking at. 70% damage reduction and 200% to stats at 55%. Is that good? I don't think so, because I don't think his starter turn defense is going to be high enough to take a hit, and you're going to triple it essentially, right? So I've seen units like Frieza, and I don't know if I still have him pulled up. I do not have Frieza pulled up, do I? Who's this? Glorio. Get him out of here. I've seen units like LR AGL Frieza, and I can pull him up right here. Right? He gets 70% damage reduction. And I've seen him with over 1.5 million defense, and he's lost. 20% damage reduction, and then 30% in slot 1. That's 50%. And then, you know, as he gets hit, he's building up. So he takes 3 hits, and he gets another 20%. So that's 70% damage reduction. I've seen him with over 1.5 million defense at the start of turn. 70% damage reduction. There's only a 10% difference, and he's been obliterated. Right? He's died to a super. Again, from a no item perspective, that's dangerous, but from an item perspective, it's really good. So at 55%, I don't know. I would want to see this guy in game at 55% and really judge it off of that. So another thing we can look at is what kind of support he's going to have on his team, and that's why all these other tabs are pulled up. So between Gifted Warriors and Transformation Boost, he's going to have some pretty solid defense. So you put this guy on the team, he's getting 40% defensive support whenever this guy's on the rotation. You put this guy on the team, he can get up to 60% defensive support as long as you give him 24 key. So from the 18th key forward, every other key after that, so there's only 6 more you can get, you get 10% defense, all right, for the rest of the rotation for everyone as long as he's slot 3. So up to 60%, anywhere from 10 to 60% defense. Pretty good. That's pretty good, right? And then, you know, you have Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He could give 44% defense to one rotation, and then the other rotation, he's giving a massive 70% and then another 10%. So he's back to 90%. So if you have this guy, picking up this Vegeta at 55% is great, but you have to get this guy out for him to be literally never, like, he's going to be like turn 1 every turn, right? This guy has to show up first. Before that, you're just getting 50% defense, which is still solid, right? So this guy doesn't support. And then this guy, if you have another extreme class ally on the rotation, he does give out 40% defense and 20% chance to crit. You can get some extreme units out on this team, like I wouldn't say Buhan, but maybe Oh yeah, the Brolys. This guy, this Broly right here. He's an option to run. But then he's fighting over slot 1 forever, dude. He's always fighting for slot 1. The Frieza and Goku is an option. Oh, LR Janemba, which can be slot 2. Yeah. Or he could be slot 1 if you need him to be, right? When Vegeta's in type advantage. So you have plenty of support options. And what's great about this, ideally, how many support units do you want on any team you build? 3. That way, if they're always floating in slot 3 and they're the support units, you will always have support up every single turn. Now, the support may vary from how much you get, but it's always there. And then you have a slot 2 turn support unit in Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? Like that's pretty good. That's massive. So he has a lot of options. So I want to summon for him, but with Saiyan Day right around the corner, I really want to see what's going to happen. And I think if Slug returns on this banner, because Slug, I was predicting Slug, and I didn't put the video out, but I recorded it. Slug was returning with this banner, and I thought it was going to be because Slug's returning. We're going to see an extreme unit. But instead, they gave us a super type unit. Now, the last few years has been extreme units, and then we had like a Goten and Trunks, and then we had like a Ginyu, and then I think we had Beerus, right, going backwards. So this slot has been flip flop between super and extreme types a lot. I thought it was just going to be extreme types forever because we have so few times to get extreme units into the game. I think the Daima Vegeta is going to fit perfectly, unlike Frieza from last year, where he still doesn't have a good team. Like, it's just unrunnable, dude. And he'll be unrunnable this year when he gets his team. So, is how I feel. So, I really want to see what the Saiyan Day unit's going to be, because that's a banner I do want to summon on. So, if you summon on this, will you walk away with a good unit? I think if you have a lot of these characters that can support and be on the team, you're not this guy. He doesn't support. Get him out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's 3. 1, 2, 3. If you have these 3 characters, bro, like he's a great pick. He's you're gonna love him. He's gonna be a lot of fun. He's gonna work. If you don't have these 3 supports at 55%, man, I would just recommend to wait. Just wait. We're gonna have better units and better banners coming up in the spring. With Saiyan Day probably gonna be better. Golden Week's probably gonna be better. The Tanabata, which takes like 9 months to return, is probably gonna be better. But that's like a June July banner, which I'm probably skipping because Worldwide is right behind it, and then the Worldwide. So it's up to you. I would recommend, if you're new to the game, like you just started with the 10th anniversary, summon on the 10th anniversary banners, get 50% or at least 50% of the units from each featured banner unit, and then save until the Worldwide. Just save everything until the Worldwide. And I promise you, going forward, you're going to have a lot of fun with the game. You're going to be able to build lots of teams. You're going to do whatever you want with your stones, whenever you want. And you can still come back and see how people feel about new units, right? Or look for showcase videos and stuff like that. I won't have a showcase right away. I think at 55%, even with the units that I have, I think he's going to be fun. He's going to be solid, but I gotta pick and choose where I spend my stones right now, because I'm purely free to play on this game. I haven't put any money into this game for like 2 years now. So with that said, I'm out of here. Enjoy your night, evening, morning, whatever may be. Peace out. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Again, don't forget, this guy is he's an option. He's a contender. This is an option for. Let me pull him up. Boom. This is an option for your redstone. He's gonna easy A very very soon. Super easy A very very soon. He's something to consider. And I will see you guys on the next one.